Hello and welcome to another episode of Sealed for Good. Today we'll be discussing surface preparation, the key to success. If you haven't subscribed already, please press that subscribe button. Let's get into it. So the first thing you want to do when you get on site is assess the surface that you'll be working on. It's really important to understand the characteristics of the surface because this is going to determine the level of preparation that you need to undertake and also help you select the correct primer. There's a simple method to determine whether a surface is porous or non-porous, which is called the water droplet test. The first step is to thoroughly clean the area that you'll be applying the water to, and then simply flick a handful of droplets of water onto that area. Set a 5-minute timer and then see what happens. If the water is absorbed before the 5-minute timer goes off, then you should treat the area as non-porous. If all the water is absorbed after the timer has stopped, then it's a porous surface. This method also helps you to determine how much primer that surface may take. So if the water gets absorbed in the first minute, 30 seconds or immediately, then you may want to apply 2 coats of the selected primer. For typical non-porous materials like plastic, metal, and other glazed surfaces, the most important thing is to give it a thorough clean. Typically this is all that's required before applying either our OP primer or Gripset Express SP primer. It's always a good idea to give it a final wipe with some isopropanol alcohol to get rid of any residues that may be present from the production process of those metal and plastic components. The thing to remember or to consider when you're working over porous substrates is their ability to absorb liquids. So you might find that a dry looking surface may actually have some retained moisture. We advise that you use a moisture meter, check the moisture level, and then select one of our vapor barriers from there. So with porous substrates like concrete, masonry, renders, and screeds, a real quick way to determine the stability of the surface is to simply get a sharp blade and run it down firmly on that substrate. If you see that it's easy to dig in, you get in 2-3 millimeters, then it's very likely that that top layer is unstable. If it's a new construction, then the first thing you want to do is contact your supervisor and alert them of any potential issues. So with manufactured materials like wall linings and structural sheet flooring, it's recommended that you familiarize yourself with the manufacturer's installation manuals, at least to have an overview and be able to determine whether that element of construction has been completed the way it should be. Familiarizing yourself with the instructions from, for example, a wall lining manufacturer will really help you avoid any issues down the track. If you have a look at the example that's up on the screen now, you can clearly see that the membrane is delaminating from the surface, and this is because the wrong product was applied to finish that flush joint. It's simple things like this that the installation instructions will alert you to that will ensure that you have a quality application when you're done. This other example that's up on the screen now is from a catastrophic failure that caused a lot of damage on the property. That could have easily been avoided by simply just cleaning the surface. If you have a look, the amount of dirt and mud that was left on that site is unacceptable. If you'd like to be part of Australia's most comprehensive waterproofing training, make sure you press the link below to find out more about Gripset GAPP. If you have any questions on what we just covered, or you come across a substrate you're not familiar with and you'd like some further advice, feel free to give us a call on 1-800-650-435. Until next time, happy waterproofing.